under another freeway, and you see police cars atop that freeway.
No cars are there. Now it's going to go under another freeway.
Now, the police do have speakers in those vehicles. They can speak, as if you've ever been pulled over sometimes, you'll hear the police officer say, come out of your car. You were speeding or something. They can't speak to that car.
Police officers say, come out of your car, you're speeding or something. They can't speak to that car.
Reuters
hey guys, we are doing the O.J. Simpson chase.
Welcome,
welcome. It is the 28th anniversary of
O.J.
Simpson.
Picked up this call to
O.J. Simpson chasing. We're going to watch the whole thing. We are watching the whole shebang today. What is going on, people? Welcome for just joining. It is the anniversary of the O.J. Simpson chase. What is happening, my people?
No report on
We're going to watch this thing.
Other than police.
We're going to see it go down. We're watching it go down live. What's up? 1,600 people already. How are you guys?
This hasn't happened.
We got Larry King doing the audio, which is awesome.
The traffic up
It's
above
awesome.
is still.
Guys, give me a follow if you're just joining. If you haven't watched my chases before,
It appears that CHP has stopped
we're going to see what OJ does on this one. Welcome, it's OJ. It is the OJ Simpson anniversary. Welcome. Everybody, smash that like button, please. Let's get people to follow this thing. Let's see how many people we can get to watch the OJ Simpson. Everybody knows it's not live. It's OJ Simpson. Hilarious. Guys, we were doing a live replay of the O.J. Simpson 28 years ago. I remember it. I lived out in L.A.
Apparently, the reports we get, they're about 40 minutes.
This is lit. Yeah. So, welcome, everybody.
O.J. is in the passenger
Welcome to the live O.J. Simpson chase.
We're just now crossing the 605.
So, this guy lived in Brentwood, so this took forever. This just kept going and going and going.
As I hear it in my earphones.
You watched it in school when it was happening? Yeah.
But again, O.J.
I was living in L.A. when it happened. That's the craziest part of the whole thing. Guys, do me a favor, smash that like button. Let people know that you like this thing.
How long did
he was in jail? He wasn't in jail that long. He got out, and then he obviously he got acquitted. If it doesn't fit, you can't. You have to acquit. He put on the glove. So you can see this was like a slow chase, an OJ slow chase. Guys, do me a favor, smash that like button. If you don't smash that like button, we will not get a bunch of people watching this. You couldn't have watched on your iPad when you were in school because iPads didn't exist when this was on. So that is a lie, whoever said that. Longtown. That is a lie. Hilarious, though. A hilarious lie. We just started. This is the O.J. Simpson one. I just started. It was a joke, dude. I know. That was funny, though. That was a funny joke. Guys, please smash that like button. That's how TikTok knows that that stuff's happening. That it's all happening. So this is a replay of the O.J. Simpson chase 28 years ago today. It's very entertaining. It was actually pretty slow. I mean, there was like a million cops behind him. And the craziest thing about this one, as opposed to other ones, is that they actually knew it was O.J. That's the wild part. They knew that his friend was driving the car. They knew he was in the back of the car.
This is Larry King.
So, it wasn't like a big secret. You know what I mean?
Jim Hill, famed sportscaster in Los Angeles, an old friend, a former athlete.
No, it's not. It's only like 40 minutes long. It's not that long.
Perhaps a weapon or fear that there might be a
Because
weapon
he's heading south on the 405, and then he goes to his house.
Play here when you're considering.
Why was he running? He was running because he was. They said he killed his wife.
The CHP has policy.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, exactly, Alex. Guys, smash that like button for me, please.
They are involved in that. Will act according to policy.
This is the one. This is the magic, people.
All the time.
When was this? This was 28 years ago today.
The procedure to use in felony stops or high-risk situations.
In Los Angeles.
What speed are they going now, Officer Berry? Any idea?
I don't have that information right now.
Guys, do me a favor. If you haven't watched my chases before, please give me a follow. If you could smash that like button, I'd appreciate it too. That's how TikTok knows that we are doing this. Hi, Miles. What's going on?
Officer, that it's west of the 605.
Did he do that to his wife? Well,
91 freeway.
At the end of the day,
This
he
is
was not
really a
convicted
case, as
of
it
it.
has
I mean,
been
like
so many of
he went to
these
trial,
pursuits on Southern
but
California
he
freeway.
got away with it. So you have to decide for
That was the All
yourself.
Points Bulletin that
He
was issued
allegedly
for
killed his wife.
O.J. Simpson. They now have him very much in
Allegedly.
Abreast of where they are and what the situation
Hey,
is.
thanks, Paul.
For the time being,
I appreciate
everyone
it.
seems
Guys, smash that like button.
Back in Greensboro, man, watching you play.
Vince, if you could turn down your television set.
Man, I'm just
Wow,
praying.
there's like a flip of every station.
Stop, man. Just stop. Please stop.
He definitely did it. Yeah.
Just stop,
I mean,
man.
most people said he did it, but you know, the court said he didn't, which is crazy.
Vince Evans, we
Listen.
thank you for joining us. How long have you
Simpson's
been watching
friend.
here? Have you been watching for most of the last half hour or so?
How long have you
And
been
your thoughts
watching
about
here?
what
You've
his
been
mental
watching for
state might
most
be?
of the last half hour
To
or
be
so.
doing something like this certainly isn't the
And
OJ
your
you
thoughts
know.
about what his mental state
But I
might
know
be?
he's been under a lot.
To be doing
and,
something
a lot
like
of
this
pressure,
certainly isn't the
I'm
OJ
sure
you
that
know.
he's feeling like the world is against him right now. But
Pick Love did it.
like myself, and I'm sure so many other people, he's crazy love, man. Like myself, knew how much people care
Hey,
for him
Finn.
and love him. And I know that he's just feeling like everything is going
Guys, keep
against
smashing
him
that like button for me, please. Thank you.
He's not doing himself any good by just proceeding like this. And I just want him to know how much he's loved, man, how much he's loved.
Vince, you go back a long way with O.J. Simpson to your college playing days. You've known him for many, many years. Tell us
Yeah,
your
what you guys
feelings
don't
about
realize,
O.J. and what
the
you know
young
of him,
people
what
in the
kind of man he
audience
is.
who are following me or watching today, is that
Man,
OJ's lawyer was Kim Kardashian's dad.
everything that Kim
How crazy was that?
so eloquent
He was the friggin' lawyer. I mean, talk about the first reality TV Kardashian. It was the father.
You know, instilling, you know,
You were 6 and you remember this shit, Kicker? I don't know about that. Did you live in LA?
And, you know, I just can't say enough about it.
As we're watching here, Vince, we're seeing a car that's been pulling
Sold
up
his soul.
and pulling back, and
I
now
can
we
tell you a
see the
funny
white
story if you
Bronco
guys want.
take off at a speed
I actually
that's considerably
saw
faster than it's been driving
O.J.
before.
Simpson once.
We can't
You guys will
identify
like
that as
this.
a car that it is
I was
apparently been
golfing
playing some form
in-
of tag with the Bronco there.
Yeah, where was it?
Don't
It was like-
know if
it was like north of where he is
obviously
right
some
now.
kind of
It
an
was like
official
at this
vehicle.
public
We don't know
course.
what it is.
in like
But look
Granada
at the people
Hills or
standing
something
on
like
the
that.
freeway there,
And
waving.
you know, when you golf, anybody who golfs knows
number of people
that you
standing
get
on
up
the side
there
of the
and you're
road.
waiting at the tee.
Just
And this
the
was
curious,
like, there was a lot of
and
people
also
there, so we were
well-wishers.
like
We
the
watch people
6th or
wave
7th group
and
that was going to go
blow
out, or
kisses
8th group,
as
I don't remember what it
Mr.
was.
Simpson
And
drives by.
they
Which
call
is to
out your
continue
names
with our
when you get on the
coverage of this
tee. They
basketball
call out
game,
your
and that
names. They
means
go
at
like
this portion
the four
of the
names. They'll
telecast,
go
before
like
the resumption of the game, the start of the third
Jones,
quarter,
Smith, blah blah
to bring you
blah.
this
You know,
interview,
those are the
which I
those are
did
the
yesterday
people
with
that,
Pat Riley. It has been a 3-year process
they
for
kept
Pat
going
in
to
New York,
basketball games.
and now the pursuit of the
Jones,
champion.
Smith,
They
blah
take
blah
it to
blah.
Parker
They would go
Center,
back and
and
forth
they're booked,
to determine
on the
and tell you
outstanding,
when you're up next to tee, right?
The Ford Bronco right
And so
now
we're standing on the
is,
tee box. We're
continuing
like,
to
I
move
don't know, we're like
through
4 or
very
5 groups away. And
Laura,
all of a
that
sudden
the
they come over and they
on-ramps have
go
been
like
blocked off. Law
Jones,
enforcement
Smith,
is, leapfrogging.
Simpson, you know,
As we
Allen,
go from
and
one
like
jurisdiction to another,
somebody in the crowd goes,
Near the
"Is
one
that murderer
freeway.
here
It's
golfing?"
interesting to note the time.
And
This
he
started
obviously
apparently
hadn't
around
seen,
6:45, a little bit after.
you know, that
the
OJ was there. We had all
rush hour.
seen OJ, but this guy
Police
clearly
are
hadn't seen
attempting
OJ.
to clear
And the
freeway,
whole
although you can see a
crowd
car right there
was
going up
like,
right next to the Bronco.
"Oh shit!"
Not an easy job.
Like they couldn't believe that this dude yelled it out with OJ standing right there. It was crazy.
He was supposed to surrender.
And that's
at 11
since I
o'clock
lived in
today.
LA, that's my only OJ
Basically,
story.
His attorney turned
But I
his
think
back
it's a
and
good
OJ
one.
managed to
I think it's
get
a really
out
good
of the
one.
way.
Get away apparently with his
Guys, do
good
me a favor,
friend,
keep smashing
Al
that like
Kellings.
button.
Now
I
we have a
appreciate
little
it.
bit of an update. This is off the Associated Press wire, or excuse me, the Reuters wire. According to someone who is monitoring police scanners, the man in the car says he would not give himself up. He's in the back of the vehicle. He has a gun to his head, and he says he will hurt himself. He is demanding to be taken to.
Remember, this is O.J. Simpson. So the reason why I didn't pull over is that he knew he was about to go to jail for allegedly killing his wife.
We do know that this is the vehicle that belongs to Al Cowley.
A lot of people think he did it and he got away with murder, but
long-time friend.
So his friend
O.J. Simpson, when he
that was driving ever get charged with anything. I don't think Al Cowley ever got away with ever got charged with anything. I think because he actually was following the law. He didn't like.
And one
he didn't like you see he's going like at a regular speed. He's not like going crazy.
Read this afternoon at the attorney's office in
I don't think
City.
he got in
and
that
to
much
listen
trouble.
to that note, it sounded very much like a farewell goodbye.
After this, he did 9 years in prison for armed robbery.
Said
Yeah, the irony, Lisa, is that he went for armed robbery for stealing his stuff.
Remembered for that.
That guy stole
leave his kids alone.
His stuff, and OJ went in there in Vegas and got his shit back. So he actually went to jail for stealing his own shit, which is insane. Can you imagine that? I mean, he obviously went about it the wrong way, but like he took, and there was two guys he like took up who like didn't even know him, were like down in the casino, and those guys got in trouble too. So
peace and love, OJ.
Spoilers.
The attorney had said that he'd been extremely depressed.
I got to see the exact vehicle at the museum in Tennessee. Oh, really?
Saying he had never seen OJ Simpson so low.
That's cool. Guys, I can't believe we only have 115 people watching this.
And O.J. Simpson
this is magic stuff.
And it looks like the emergency flashers are going on that Bronco. That's the first time we've had sort of this view of the vehicle.
Guys, smash that like button. If you smash that like button, I'll tell TikTok that
appears the way the sun is hitting the front of the vehicle,
that you like it, and then it'll send more people to us.
Made a transition from one freeway to another, and there you see just a huge number of police cars. CHP, Orange County Sheriff, LAPD, presumably
28 years ago today, if you're just joining, this happened 28 years ago today in Los Angeles, and I believe he's driving on the 405 freeway because he lived in Brentwood.
Hopefully for this to
Another interesting story
without any further loss of life, any more damage and destruction. On the phone now we have psychiatrist Dr. Tom Linden. And Dr. Tom, can you hear me?
Guys, this is live with TikTok news
at this point, we have reports that
and because he
O.J. Simpson is in this vehicle.
He lived in Brentwood, and it wasn't a.
Says he will not be taken alive.
I love
he wants to be taken to see his mother. At this point, what would you deduce psychiatrically
he lived in a community that wasn't gated, and so many people were driving around his community, like just sitting in front of his house and stuff.
Either on the freeway or on the
they wound up actually gating a public community, which you have to understand how crazy that is. His community is like regular streets, like streets like we all live on, and they were just like it got too crazy, and the whole neighborhood somehow convinced the city of Brentwood to throw gates up and turn it into a gated community. So, people who live in LA pay their tax dollars, and you can't drive in that neighborhood.
What part, Doctor, does the fellow driving the car, his old friend, play in this now?
Well, he's not dead. He lives, I think, in Vegas. He's still running around. O.J. Simpson totally is running around. So, guys, anybody who's just joining us, make sure you give me a follow. If you like this kind of stuff, today we're doing the 20th anniversary of O.J. Simpson car chase.
That he's not being abandoned.
In my first time, one of his clients has
skipped in a big way this morning.
And keep in mind, as you see some of these pictures, that they are being tracked by live equipment from helicopters, from cars. There's going to be some breakup in that video as they continue to try to follow the police chase of the Bronco with O.J. Simpson in it. So there will be some video breakup, but that's just very normal.
I don't think anybody thought he was going to get away with it.
Continue to monitor KNBC for further developments, and we'll bring you those throughout the course of the evening, and of course,
this
a
keeps
complete
going back and
wrap-up
forth,
tonight
but
on
you'll see
King 5 News at
the
11
chase
o'clock.
just keeps coming back up.
Third quarter.
It's crazy. You'll see it come back. It keeps bouncing around.
And the helicopter, obviously the reason the helicopter has gotten out of pattern here.
I didn't, I was in grade school.
There are commercial.
He didn't know the airport trick. 100%, Rose.
And you can't apparently, if you're landing in LA, those people do. They always
not know the airport trick. You're right.
They will go right over the 405, so they've obviously.
The airport trick is the key. Can we find a better one? This one's kind of boring.
Not hitting the passenger plane.
Listen, it's the 28th anniversary of the O.J. chase, and we're going to watch the whole chase together.
You see the tip of the helicopter outside the cameras. Again, the car continues to travel.
I wonder if he watches the footage. I don't know. Maybe. Where is he, though? Let's see.
Trailed by California Highway Patrol.
It's hard to tell where he's at.
We understand that Dr. Michael Baden can hear us. How are you, Michael?
I mean, by
Sorry to be talking to you at this time.
Yeah, Michael is an old friend. He's the famed forensic pathologist for New York City for many, many years. One of the foremost people in his field. I know you're not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, Michael, but you were with O.J. today. Can you tell us?
Now it appears they've moved past some of those dangerous areas with planes taking off and landing, and they have a pretty good view again of O.J. Simpson in the lead car, the Bronco. The highway is clearing. Some people stopping as they see and hear the police vehicles coming. Many people stopping simply to take a look at what is happening. This story
shot that is bringing us in closer, and while it is closer, we are still not able to discern if
another angle for us there.
If O.J. Simpson is in the back. It would appear that they have their flashing lights on, the distress lights, lights you use when you pull over and you want to alert your fellow motorists that you're having trouble.
You know, I saw
pushing along this freeway
I feel like I'm doing like a Darryl's Hollywood minute. Larry King loves the Dodgers. I love the Dodgers. And I had great seats. A friend of mine had like amazing seats behind home plate. Ron Goldman, right? And I used to see every time I went to a game Larry King because he had the front row behind home plate.
The car is proceeding at, what would you estimate?
I don't remember people trashing his football cards and jerseys.
Yeah, approximately that speed is between
Larry
35
King,
and 45
like
miles an
the
hour.
Dodger games would be like, he'd be waving at everybody.
Then, from
be like, what's up, Larry?
I-10
He'd be like,
interchange up to Sunset Boulevard is only going to be
I would encourage you, if you ever have a chance to go to a Dodger game and sit behind home plate, or at least a couple rows up, and you're going to see everybody. It's like a wild
off-ramps are
scene.
quite blocked. It appears that a good number of people are pulled on the right shoulder and are out of their vehicles watching this procession proceed up the 405 freeway here. It's
hey guys, if you just joined me, this is the 20th anniversary of the O.J. Simpson chase.
Are stopped alongside the road and are
so we're going to stick with the whole thing. It's not bad. Total like 45 minutes.
Now you should be approaching pretty close to Wilshire Boulevard, aren't you?
Coming up on Santa Monica Boulevard at this time,
right.
And that off-ramp is not blocked.
Guys, if you're just joining and you like car chases, please give me a follow.
The vehicle is still in the far left lane.
All right, so
continuing northbound.
Let's mention to our viewers that there are only
and if you like,
3 off-ramps now remaining if he's going to go to that Brentwood estate. There is the one coming up on Wilshire, which you're probably approaching now.
That's affirmative, Al.
Okay, and then right after that, probably another 30 to 40 seconds, you'll be at Waterford.
Yeah, he's going to be getting off soon. And then there's craziness once you get to his house.
Yes,
guys, please
left
smash
lane
that like button. That's how
the other
TikTok knows
traffic
to
there
send more
with the
people
vehicle. The left lane
28 years,
and the other
28
traffic
years
are
ago today,
pulling off to
Christy.
the right shoulder at this time, ahead of the vehicle.
Okay, now it's crucial to see if he starts moving over to the right lane.
It doesn't appear that will be the case due to the number of vehicles blocking the right
That's
lane.
why we're doing it. It's the 28th anniversary,
is
Christy.
right there at the intersection of Sunset and the 405. Eric, can you read us? Go ahead and tell us what you see.
Well, first of all, we're just coming up. We're
Look at all those
going
people
north
pulled over.
on the 405. We're
All those
coming
people
to
pulled over,
Sunset
like,
Boulevard
filming
right
them.
now.
And they don't even have,
And
they must
I
have
can tell you
cameras,
that
because back then we didn't have cell phones 28 years ago with cameras on them, so you actually have a camera on
The
you.
southbound 405, as you know, is a parking lot with everybody stopped and out of the cars looking, waiting for this chase to come. But the Sunset Boulevard off-ramp is open, and it appears that...
Can you imagine? I mean, we do car chases all the time, and you never see people like this. I mean, like, you see people on the side of the street, but like, look at these people.
That Sunset
There are
Boulevard
tons of cars just pulled over on the 405,
He's now
just watching
moving
what's going
over to the
on
right lane.
out of their cars. It's insane.
Craig, are we approaching Sunset Boulevard now? Okay, we're approaching Sunset Boulevard.
There's a crowd of people who are on the bridge here watching as he approaches the Sunset Boulevard.
All right, Eric.
Is this live?
Eric, it looks,
yeah,
it appears
this is
now
live.
as though he is
I've got
getting...
a time machine.
As I recall, there
By the
are
way,
2
people,
lanes
you've
on
all
the,
been
on,
zapped back
the Sunset
28
Boulevard
years.
off-ramp. He is in one of them, and that's the
What's
lane
up?
he would be using. He is... Looks like he's getting off it.
Okay, Hal, it looks like he is getting off at the off-ramp at Sunset.
All right. Okay.
Getting off. He's on the off ramp now. Coming up the off ramp at Sunset. Lots of people at the overpass at Sunset, and possibly here will be a westbound turn en route to Brentwood.
That's right.
Looks like he's in the left lane now, making a left turn. The intersection's free, and he's clear. And now making his left
Brentwood
turn
is a very rich.
westbound.
Look at all these people on the street. Look at them all.
Must have gone right by you.
Juice!
Well, he hasn't. We're
Juice! Look at them all.
to his
Juice! Look at
believing that he's going there. But
Remember, nobody has a
it was
phone.
an
Nobody
amazing
has a
situation
cell
on that
phone
overpass.
here.
There are
20 years
people
ago, we did not
running
have cell
around
phones
on
with
top of
cameras
there.
in them.
I don't know
If
how
you're
he's
filming
gonna
it, it's
be able
because
to
you have an
drive through all
actual
those
camera in
people.
your hand.
All along Sunset
Look at all those
Boulevard, there are
people. That's
stopped as well
crazy.
ahead of the chase. We can
Guys,
only
if you like
assume
this, make
he's
sure you
going
keep
to
smashing that like
on
button.
Rockingham in Brentwood.
Okay, Eric,
Wow.
that's...
See, all those people knew because they knew where he lived, so they all got off. They all ran over to the exit where he
Sunset
lived.
Boulevard off ramp, as we had speculated, and now he is proceeding west on Sunset Boulevard. He just went past Woodburn and will be approaching Barrington Avenue.
And there's a red light at Barrington. There are lights on this. I don't know what he's going to do, how
See,
he's going to
even
respond
20
to
years ago,
traffic lights.
crazy
He hasn't
people were
had
on the
to
street
cope
cheering
with
for these
that,
things.
But there's quite a lot of traffic lights. We're hearing the sirens behind us now. He's right behind us. We're hearing the sirens. The police have their sirens
He
on.
kind of admitted he did. I mean, in his book, he wrote about how he would do it had he done it. Yeah. You know what? Even if you had a cell phone 28 years ago, there was no camera on it. So you traveled with like a little camera with you. You had one in your car. Everybody had cameras.
Okay, Eric, it's only now probably
now we cheer from TikTok.
3 minutes at the most, I would say, to his home.
Who was this guy? O.J. Simpson.
His home west of the 405 on a street called Rockingham.
Right.
He will have to make a right
This is
turn
the OG
onto
chasing
Rockingham,
guys.
and that is where his mansion is. It looks like there's at least 10.
You're in your 20s.
Well, maybe
This
not
bored
10,
me.
but
So I went to a party like normal.
Santa Ana Police, Orange County.
And now you're a grandma.
Sheriff
Look at
and
that.
Highway Patrol officers following him, as well as regular
Boy, how
private
time
citizens
flies,
on
huh?
motorcycles who are
Dog's
following
snoring.
this chase now.
All these youngins.
And we're right behind them.
Now, how far behind the Bronco are you, Eric?
I'd say we're less than a mile behind.
Okay.
What's going to happen is that street, Rockingham, is a very, very narrow street. It's going to be interesting to see
It dates
how
all of
that's
us.
going to work.
At this time, I hadn't even moved into the house. I hadn't even bought my house yet at this time.
The mansion itself is
I
about
didn't even think I was married yet.
Rockingham on the
Was
right-hand
this
side.
94? What year was this? 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's right, Eric. And also, once again, if we
just
can
a wee
continue
little
to
pup.
speculate, it will be interesting to see if he is
Look, it still
allowed
says
to
courtesy
go
of KTLA.
into the
Number
mansion
one,
itself,
KTLA.
or whether he will
Number
be
one car
stopped
chase
short of it.
television network in Los Angeles.
The Los
KTLA
Angeles
for
County
all your car
Sheriff
chase
and
needs.
California Highway.
It's changed the entire scenario
For
of
all
getting off the
your car chase
freeway,
needs.
and it's. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this along with you. I think that's Sunset
Look at all
Boulevard,
these
Yeah, it looks like
and
the trees and the way the configuration.
right. And so moving up into the Brentwood area where O.J. has
You got 3 kids
had a
already?
home for
Wow.
quite some time,
Grandma
also
5.
the home of
You're on your
his
honeymoon,
late wife,
Mr.
Nicole
Selghost?
Brown Simpson. Again, police.
Guys, keep smashing that
are
like
in
button. I
pursuit.
appreciate it.
They have not closed in. This has been going on since about an hour and 15 minutes. They have kept their distance. They have been following diligently, but they have not made any effort to derail O.J.'s
Look at how
vehicle.
nice this is.
They
A
have
really
made
nice
no effort
neighborhood you
to
live
pull
in.
up beside him.
Really
Again,
nice.
here's
Can't drive
O.J.
around here
Simpson.
anymore.
Yes,
It's now
indeed.
gated.
It would appear that he is, in fact,
Oh, look at all those people in the
trying to
corner.
reach
Look at
his
all. They
neighborhood,
all
if
got
you
to his
will.
house.
And you see people chasing after the
They knew
Bronco,
where he
which is the
lived.
worst thing they could do. Mark Coogan, are you able to hear us
Al
now?
just drove
There's one of
Jill.
the satellite trucks, so I think
Where
this,
were
in
they
fact,
that
is
Al
pulling
had to
up.
like
He's pulling
drive
right
him
up
though?
to
Look
his
at there's
home.
cops on the street. They're just
Sure
sitting
looks like it.
Look, the cops are just
There
look.
he is now.
They have
There's the car
the
pulling
news
up.
vans are all there too. Cops, news vans.
Mark Coogan, we're watching
Now look at this, he
O.J.
pulls into his
Simpson pull into
driveway.
his driveway.
Crazy.
He has driven.
They're not
all
gonna let
day.
somebody casually pull into their
Somebody
driveway
coming
around
up
their
beside
house
him.
anymore.
Hey, look, there's
That's
a
for
bit
sure.
of a scuffle here. And
Look at this.
Al Callings, who is at the wheel, apparently.
There's a guy, look at him.
whoever
There's a
it
guy who
is
just ran
trying
up.
to get out of the way, to get back, and to stay out of the way. O.J. Simpson is in the back of this vehicle. It has tinted windows. We're unable to
imagine?
see a
Can you imagine
clear
like how
picture of
chill
him.
the cops are with
But,
O.J.
the reports
Simpson?
we've received off of the police scanners is that Mr. Simpson
were they really at Robert's
has a gun
house?
to his head.
Did you know that for a
and
fact? Or you
obviously
just
is
joking?
threatening suicide.
Because I mean,
Mr.
he's a
Cowling,
lawyer,
as he
so.
has done since this drive began an hour and 15 minutes ago, has been waving everybody off, telling them to stay back. Al Cowlings is a friend. You just know that he is doing the best job he can
I
to
didn't know that.
emotionally calm down
Learn
O.J.
something new
Simpson
every
right
day.
now.
That's where he was supposed to turn himself in from. Interesting.
Police, as you saw, are on the premises. They've been there all day. They too are staying back right now. And all we can do is watch along with you, keep our fingers crossed that
So he had a gun and he was
will in
going to
fact
kill
put
himself.
that gun down, and that this will.
I believe you have.
But O.J. Simpson has
Thanks,
returned
Butterfly.
home.
Guys, if you like this, keep
After
smashing
it's
that
all
like
said
button.
and
I
done,
appreciate it.
He took off from Orange County, and he decided he was going to go home.
After it's all said and done, he took off.
The reports all day have been that O.J. has in fact been suicidal. He wrote a letter that thanked many of his friends, his former teammates, his
Can you imagine? They would never let anybody else go home. Like, I'm just going to go home.
And people he's
Guys, I
known
know
over
I'm
the
wanted
years,
for a double homicide,
on
and you
any
want to
other
arrest me, but
occasion,
I'm
he
just
would
going to
have
first.
labeled it a
I just want
suicide
to go
note.
home.
But the friend who read it told
If
us
it's cool with you
that
guys,
it was a
I'm
letter
going home.
that he wanted read to the
Hey,
public.
what's
The
up?
word suicide wasn't
Welcome.
mentioned. Only when his attorney, Robert Shapiro, said that he believed O.J. was suicidal, and that O.J. had been under the care of psychiatrists.
I didn't remember that his son had run out. I just assumed it was some crazy person from like the street or something like that.
Linda Brickstone apparently is at Park.
The phone, when talking to other people, perhaps law enforcement, is very, very difficult to figure out just what the next move is going to be.
Craig, what do you see from up there in your pilot's position?
That's where they took off from.
Well, Stan, we've got the vehicle in the driveway with flashers on. So someone approached the vehicle initially, and then believed the security guards or police officers pulled them away from the vehicle.
I don't remember that, Jonesy.
And right now, it's just it's a waiting game. It looks like.
Where are the law enforcement officers? Can you see them around? Are they all outside?
It looked like they came out of the house, or were in the house and came out of the house, and then went back into the house. At this point in time, I do not see too many law enforcement people in and around the vehicle. However, that's not to say they could be close proximity to the house and the vehicle around the ground.
Craig, let me recommend that we stay right on your position there, because I have a feeling that the car didn't just drive in there.
Remember, he had a gun.
Something is happening right
this
now.
was
I would
today,
suspect
and
there's
they
some
knew he had
kind
a
of
gun.
communication.
There would be like
communication
200
between
guns
a cell phone
pointing at
and
him. You know that would happen.
either
That would
the
be
house
true.
or law
You would have so
enforcement
many
in that area.
guns
Some kind
pointed
of
at him today.
negotiation.
Everybody's just chilling because it was OJ.
The officers were inside ready to pull him back, like they knew he was coming.
They were aware he was coming. The situation now, Linda, is what to do.
Very tense. If they knew he was coming there, though, there may be some situation where he is, said he will surrender or something like that.
We also know that he has a cellular phone there, and the Los Angeles Police Department has some very excellent psychologists on their staff, people who are crisis counselors, if you will, and that is a definite possibility that they are trying to make contact with OJ on the telephone. I have no evidence that there's a phone being passed to the back of that Bronco, but it would appear to me that they are making that effort, maybe talking to Al Cowlings, that they would like to talk to OJ and tell him that it would be in his best interest to put that gun down and to step out of that vehicle with his hands in the air.
If I were to guess, based on the information we've been able to patch together here at Parker Center, they definitely knew where he was going about 10 minutes ago when he was still on.
In altitude,
Where'd you
we
get all the
certainly want
guns?
to cooperate in that respect, not endanger anybody. And as we say, we hope that this will end peaceably, but we'll see what happens here. We'll stay on that Ford and see what happens. But I do suspect that there are negotiations going on right now.
And the fact that the officers of the scene have kind of stayed the other side of the wall. There's no one
I'm sure.
rushing or standing
It was
around.
temporarily at the Alcatraz
White car
Museum
sitting there
in
the
Gatlinburg,
courtyard.
Tennessee.
I think
It
his
travels
motivation,
around to different
he
museums.
said,
Oh, that's
was to see
interesting.
his mother, who was at the estate, and perhaps the children. Now, the children may not be there. We don't know that. Maybe they're being brought there, and there may be some kind of negotiation that perhaps if he could see his mother and the children and make some statement perhaps or talk to them, that maybe then there would be a surrender to the police. Did you gain altitude? Are you up at
Yes, Hal, we sure did. We're about 2,100 feet above the scene. That's mean sea level, which puts us up about 1,500 feet above the ground.
You still have an excellent picture, and we can see everything going on at that point, Craig.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Yes, that's excellent vantage point.
So, guys, it's Friday night. Good question. Is OJ going to come out with shorts and flip-flops, or is he pants and shoes?
See quite clearly what will take place.
Let's see if anybody, who knows?
O.J. Simpson wrote a letter to his children and to his mother.
Where's everybody hitting me up from today, too? I want to see where you guys are all at.
And his attorney.
Rose, you like that?
That letter was read this afternoon.
Where's everybody at today?
To proclaim his innocence.
From Chicago, that's where I'm from.
He was
Manhattan, Jersey.
In the
Hawaii. That's the next place I'm going to live. Pomona, not far away.
Murder in the first degree,
What's up,
2 counts of
Cammie?
murder in the first degree with special circumstances.
Murder in the first degree, 2 counts of murder in the first degree.
I think it's just a matter now of waiting to see. Do you see any other law enforcement activity in the area, Craig, as you look
Texas.
down?
Yes, as you can see on the perimeter road here, there is quite a number of vehicles that were in the pursuit with the one front.
Shorts and flip-flops.
They have all positioned themselves around the house.
Pants and a golf polo.
I suspect that there are quite a number of officers surrounded the house at this time.
There were evidently officers inside the house also.
Yes, that's what appeared as we came up. Someone approached the vehicle initially.
What's everybody's big plans for the weekend?
Pulled away from the
Anybody
vehicle
have big
by
plans?
what it looked like some sort of officers. I could not tell their uniforms.
You know, Craig, to put it in one kind of perspective, the belief earlier was when the letter attorney's office at Mr. Shapiro's office, the view was that he was a fugitive from justice. Well, he is not a fugitive in one respect anymore. We know where he is, and he is, there was speculation he might be out of the country, maybe hiding someplace. That is not the case anymore. That situation has now changed. O.J. Simpson is back at his home. And this is not a friend's home or any secondary home. This is his primary residence. Where he has been all day is difficult to speculate. He was out in the valley, then down in Orange County, and now he came back up the San Diego Freeway and has come home again. I doubt that he will be leaving again. The police now know where he is. We have found him. The door is opening, and let's see what happens now. We'll watch with you. This is
Sunday's
the driver's
Father's Day, so we'll
side
see if my kids come through. Supposedly they're going to make me a bunch of food and stuff, but we'll see if
someone
they
just
actually pull that
got out
off
of the
or not.
vehicle, approaching the front door, dressed in black, and entered. Looks like they entered the front of the house there. Possibly O.J. Simpson. At this point in time, from this vantage point, it was difficult to see or positively identify that individual.
Juice is in the
In
back
the brief
seat.
view that we had, whoever that individual was, whether it was O.J. or not, the person did not appear to be
All
carrying
right,
a weapon.
Leslie wants to know about, she always
No,
wanted to be an
it didn't appear
archaeologist,
that
she
at
wants
all.
to hear about
In
your
fact,
work.
they walked rather
So
casually through the
Rose,
front door. So
you and Leslie need to follow each
it'll be
other
interesting to see what
so that you
develops
can tell her
here.
about
The
your
reason I
work.
mention that is because the reports were that O.J. did have a gun to his head as the car was driving
that was Al that got
up the
out.
405 freeway. So there did not seem to be a weapon for that person who walked into the house.
Right, Hal. We're going to reposition
Hi,
here and
Manifesto, what's
possibly
up?
get around
So
to
he
the
went
other
from
side
the
of the
valley.
vehicle so we can
I think he didn't go to the valley. I think he was in, oh yeah, went to the valley to OC and then back to Brentwood. Yes.
Now free.
Because he had passed the airport
get some additional
before he
information.
got back into
Now, the
Brentwood.
best we can determine, there is still one other person, at least one other person in that
Hey guys,
vehicle.
if you're just joining us, we are watching the 28th anniversary of the O.J. Simpson
From the
chase.
information that I've gathered up to this point, it appears
no,
that
someone came back.
I don't think I don't know if they were in Calabasas or not. I actually think they might have been in.
Because it was a
I
man
think they were
dressed
in
in
Beverly
black.
Hills.
No,
No,
very well
they were
could
in
have been
Encino,
The Brentwood
and I
home
only
of
know
O.J.
that because
Simpson.
my agent
Only about 10 minutes
actually
ago, after
was
being,
friends with them back then, and so I know that they were in Encino.
when they
They
pulled
lived
off
in
the
Encino
freeway
before they
off
went
of-
out to Calabasas.
Aerial shot, it looked like that man is bulkier and stockier than O.J. Simpson is. But they are pretty much, they're both big men.
I live really close
That
to
is the man who got
Encino.
out the driver's side door. We presume that to be Al Cowlings, who was driving. We're not sure at this point in that 911 call whether it was Al Cowlings who said that O.J. Simpson had a gun to his head, or whether it was O.J. Simpson himself saying that he had a gun to his head. One can assume, I think, rather safely, that Al Cowlings is having a conversation at this
Somebody
point
had a
with
gun to
somebody
their head.
inside that vehicle. That someone,
Manifesto, you're obsessed with this?
presumably
Oh, there he
Simpson,
comes.
perhaps this
Is that
is
O.J.?
a
Who's talking to him?
conversation between two longtime friends that will resolve this odyssey this afternoon and this evening without any more violence, without any more bloodshed.
Someone's talking
This
to
is
him.
just one of two different vehicles that authorities have been searching for today. They had also put out an all-points bulletin for Simpson. They
my
were searching for
agent,
this white Ford
her
Bronco that
kids
belonged to
used to play
Cowlings.
with the
Also,
Kardashians.
Simpson, the black
And when the
one,
show
said
first
there's
came
no
on,
sign
they
of
were
that
all best friends.
whatsoever.
She had 3 daughters, and all the daughters
if
were
the
friends
two
with
are
all the
in this vehicle,
Kardashians.
Al Cowlings,
And when they
we believe that
first,
to be Al
the
Cowlings.
show first came on, they actually asked my agent's
his hand up,
kids
his
if they
palm
wanted
up,
to be on the show, and my agent was like, my kids aren't
perhaps
going to
toward
be on
the
that
police
show.
officers behind him.
I mean, what a
pointing
change of
toward
their
the front
lives,
door
huh?
to
It could
O.J.
have been.
Simpson's home. Obviously having a conversation with someone inside.
Hey stars, we're watching the O.J.
Now,
Simpson
unfortunately,
28th
now Al
anniversary
Cowlings is
of his
the man
car
we believe
chase.
to be Al Cowlings.
The Bronco.
Is obscured by that.
JK, thank you.
But
as you can see, obviously they're negotiating and talking
Two police officers.
two police officers that are
I mean,
in
the cops,
in the house.
everyone's so casual.
Back to the vehicle, so it appears that someone else is definitely in the vehicle.
Yes. I mean, they're all just
and
so
there's
chill.
an intermediary there
Won't see
discussing
AG
things
coming
with the police.
because he waited until the helicopters were still there. You were living in New York when this happened. Yeah. The Bronco was sold for $75,000. That seems actually cheap.
They were gesturing
Must have been a long
toward
time ago.
something
Because
behind.
I'm sure that, you know,
in the back or,
like you
toward
said,
the
it
rear
tours the
of
country.
the
I'm sure
property
they make a
there.
lot of money.
Okay, here's
renting
I
it out.
believe a man is pleading to negotiate with people here, the police obviously, and
Hey,
it's
Jason.
obviously very stressful down there from these pictures.
Cowlings like, just back up, man.
A
Just
very
back up.
delicate situation taking place as we watch here.
Hey guys, if you're just joining, we are
No, we do
doing
know that there was
the
at least
O.J. Simpson car
one
chase.
gun in that car.
28 years ago. I think
It would be very
I'm
interesting
sure
if
somebody
anybody
does
on the
own
ground
I think
would
actually
possibly,
I actually think that they
possibly
tore
able to
down the
get some
house.
audio here of this.
I
of
think
this
they actually
gentleman.
tore down the house because
Quite upset at the moment.
Yeah.
Quite emotional
because so
here,
many people, there was so many looky-loos and
which
stuff that
would seem
it was just
to
impossible to live there. So they wanted nothing that looked like it anymore.
dictate the
This is the middle.
stressfulness of the situation, and
And so I
hopefully,
think they actually tore down the
this
house.
type of situation would not escalate.
And like the
into
houses in
something
this neighborhood are like
a little more
15,
dramatic.
$25 million now.
Both of
You
the
can't get in this
officers
neighborhood for
Officers
like
appear to be
you know,
calming
cheap
the individual
anymore.
down and reassuring him that
Look at the cops,
things are
like cops like
safe.
negotiating.
Well,
Look,
there's
they
no
don't even have
doubt,
their
as you
guns
mentioned
out.
before, that
They're just like,
OJ
look,
is
man.
in a particularly
That's about
agitated
California
state of
so you can
mind.
get them in New York every
That
day.
is, I think, is a truism.
Mr. Selagos, I'm
Consequently,
glad.
what
Hey
goes
guys,
on
smash that like button if you
from
like this
here on is
content.
very difficult to
It
ascertain.
helps me, helps
I would
get
suspect
more
also that
followers
his
to come
lawyer
check
is
it
going
out.
to be involved in these negotiations also.
I'm live.
But it
This
does
was 28
appear,
years ago. This is
this
the
once
O.J.
again is just
Simpson car
guessing that
chase.
OJ is
Gila.
still in that vehicle, and probably
some people
on the
do think I
passenger
have
side.
a,
That seems to be a fairly
time
logical deduction, I
So
think,
it
because
is possible.
the person who
It is
got
possible,
out
guys.
is doing some kind of negotiation or talking rather than dealing with law enforcement
Cowlings just like, yo man, back off.
and talking to somebody in the car.
Yeah, most definitely. That's what it appears to be.
Like, they would never let a guy like that negotiate it
Hal,
out. You know, like,
Eric,
they'd never let a guy like that
Stillman now
like
is-
go
is,
talk to the
live
cops,
on
then
the
come
grounds
back.
of
It
the
would never
house. Let's
happen
switch
in a
to him
million
right
years.
now. Eric?
In fact, back then it wouldn't even happen if it wasn't anybody other than O.J. Simpson.
As well from our vantage point as you can from yours,
We are about, I'd say 500 yards away
smash that
from the
like button, guys. I
driveway
appreciate
where
it.
the drama is all taking place. And as you can see, there's a line of black and white
Right, Tracy.
Highway Patrol, Orange County Sheriffs, and LAPD patrol cars with their lights flashing all the way back down towards Rockingham.
Not fun. So sorry.
Eric, let me just
Not
mention,
fun.
it looks
God
as though
bless.
something is going to happen right now. The person
This
in
is-
the car.
This is the,
just
if
moved
you're just
toward
joining, this is the
entrance
O.J.
of the doorway.
Simpson 20th
Hal,
anniversary chase.
Stu Nahan just called in.
Oh,
and identified
Paul.
the gentleman
That was
standing there
harsh.
in the
They
courtyard.
handled
It
him
is
with kid
Al
gloves.
Collins.
Yeah,
Ouch.
he's a professional football player and his
And
best
close
friend.
friend, yeah.
Played ball at SC with OJ, and he was the man driving the car, and he was also the man with OJ Simpson at the house in San Fernando Valley.
Right. Now, he's backed away from the vehicle, and LAPD...
Damn, he remembers watching this live. I do too.
Inside
I
the
remember
house.
too.
Just inside
I
the
would think
doorway.
that what you're going to see is...
Paul, man, that's a rough one.
Once
That
again,
was a
we're
rough
speculating,
joke
but
you threw out at
I
us.
suspect that OJ is in that vehicle and will probably
Tanner.
come out of that vehicle.
Hey guys, what fun things are you guys going to do this weekend?
This way,
It's Friday
sit
night.
in
I'm
the
surprised
car.
we don't have a car chase. Like a live
Everyone
one.
at
It's
the
usually
scene,
Friday
I know
night.
everyone
She
hoping
got out of her
for
bathtub to get her
a
sunglasses.
peaceful solution to this entire scenario.
Everyone at the scene, I know everyone hoping for a...
Jan, he's standing right out in the open. There are two police officers just inside the door.
At least two.
least
Maybe lots more.
Yeah, somebody else told us that too.
And then he had his hands
Yes, it
moving
travels,
in a very emotional manner. What they were saying.
Right, it was unclear who he was
Yeah,
speaking
there's
to.
always a car chase on Friday night. Thursdays and Friday nights are great car
by the
chase
wall,
nights.
or maybe even neighbors, bystanders who were there. It's hard to
Keeps
tell
getting hot
from
in
this
here and
point.
cold in here.
But at one point, yes, he was very emotional.
Neighbors, bystanders who were there. It's hard to tell from...
Guys, do me a favor, smash that like button.
He was very emotional.
You don't have to give me gifts, but if you could smash it, it'd be
Helicopter
helpful.
picture acting up a little bit here, but they'll have that.
Gonna make some epic
stabilized.
stuffed
Yeah, that'll-
burgers for
that'll
Father's
last for a
Day. That's
couple of
awesome
seconds.
barbecue.
A little bit of noise in the picture, but
Yeah,
So
supposedly
Alan's
my
now
kids
going
are supposed to
back.
make me food for Father's Day, but we'll see. There's a bunch of food that's been bought. Whether it actually happens or not is a whole nother story. We'll see. All right, so AJ just keeps going
Critical,
back
as
and
we
forth.
pointed out before, is the fact that they believe that any type of
It's funny
intrusion,
because somebody
especially
said he
by
doesn't
the
get out till
media,
it's dark, and I know
could
this
trigger
doesn't last that much longer, so it has to
trigger
happen.
something to happen. If you look ahead of me here, I'm not
Relatively
sure
soon.
if our photographer can get a shot here, but Steve, you can pan off to the right, if you can pan right,
That's all in the
Steve.
love.
Al, I think we're going to stay with our helicopter picture. If you just describe for us what you're seeing. Okay, now we've got a split screen and we can see what you're talking about, Al.
Okay, very good. As I said, nothing apparently from the house but what you had seen before.
Okay, Al, to just update you and the rest of our
My
viewers,
kids will
the
say Happy
man...
Father's Day.
Well,
my daughter already sent me a gift.
At CNN Studios,
You guys want to see the
staying
gift
atop
she
this
sent me?
scene
It's
for
like the
you
best
now
gift
through
ever.
Fox 11. We have just been told that two photographers
out.
who try to run across the lawn have been arrested by the police.
Who wants to see it?
We have
Who
affirmed
wants
that
to see the
Al
gift my
Cowlings
daughter
is
sent to me?
apparently negotiating. He was the driver of the car, the longtime Simpson friend and teammate at USC.
She sent it to me. She lives in
There are
DC,
police
so she
in the
sent it to me.
doorway. This
She
is
sent
the
me a
driveway to
spoon.
the O.J. Simpson house in Brentwood.
Okay.
He's driven through two
And
counties.
inside the spoon,
We followed him all the
I
way.
don't know if you guys can
That's
read
a
what it
police car
says.
behind him. And O.J. is in the car.
take a look. I'm putting it right up
Cowlings
close.
is now either by the door. Let's go back to Channel 5's coverage,
says-
KTLA.
Dad's peanut butter
They're so
spoon.
far away that they're not seeing anything.
Dad's peanut butter
They're being
spoon. Because
kept
I always
back
take
by
a spoon
police.
and
We
dip
have
it in the
seen
peanut butter, and
a
then it
number
goes
of
in the
police
sink.
officers going
Dad's
in,
peanut butter
looking
spoon.
as
How
if they were
great is
SWAT
that that my
team
daughter
members,
bought me
people
this for
wearing the
Father's Day?
bulletproof vests.
I love it.
They just sort of arrived here on the scene.
Well, what's interesting to us, Eric, and we're looking at it, and you and I both have different perspectives. What's interesting to us is that
Thank you.
he is staying in the vehicle, not getting out. He obviously came back to his home to be at his home, to be in the home.
She works for Brad
But
Sherman.
he's not in the home.
She
He
is a
staying
legislative
in the
coordinator
vehicle
for
at the
Brad
present
Sherman.
time. I suggest there's some quid pro quo here. There's something he is waiting for, so that he is going to stay in the vehicle and probably still has that weapon. Going to stay in the vehicle until something happens. What that something is, we don't know. We can only speculate, but that, I suspect, is what's happening right now. He could be waiting, as we said before, Eric, for Robert Shapiro to show up on the scene.
And then the three officers standing there with no protection in front of them, not apparently worried to the dangerous situation, but they've been out there negotiating, obviously, is what they're doing.
Right, they've been speaking. There's been communication going on either between the police officer there and Al, or perhaps even OJ and the police officer are communicating at a distance, but within view of each other.
What's the next one you'll play for us?
No, I'm
I think
sure
we're
that
going to do this one and then hope we get it live
We've been
tonight.
informed of that, and I'm sure that a lot of stuff's been going on over that cellular phone.
But you can actually see the officers
speaking.
We see officers running in now.
Yeah, my kids are 25,
beside those patrol
24,
cars,
and 21.
wearing the bulletproof vests.
Yeah. Thank you, though. I appreciate that.
You know, we do have to put in...
Well, I'm not helping
But police, according to the scanners, are listening to them. They've been very, very upset, of course, with all the helicopter traffic overhead, saying it's been extremely difficult to hear. I heard at one point they were yelling to try and get the helicopters out of there.
Yeah, it's
I don't know
about
what
that time in the valley. It's about the time. It's about time to get some alerts.
Talking to OJ on the phone from inside the house, trying to negotiate something.
All right, Jane. Now, where are you in relation to Al Nipo, who's about a block and a half south of the house?
I have no idea. I am
How do you negotiate it? Get out of the
a
car.
block due east.
Okay.
And
I
there's
love
a
it
big
so
crowd
much
here. Of
as
course,
well. I'm in
people-
northeast Alabama. We visit
I
about
just
twice
don't know
a
what
year.
to
My mom
think of
lives
it.
in Alabama.
Jovial, laughing, running to the scene.
You have a 21-year-old too?
like a
That's
party.
great.
Well, and that's what Dr. Tom Linden, the psychiatrist we had on earlier, the man who's been talking to O.J. Simpson inside is, and we see police officers
Ozark,
in the front door of the
Alabama.
house now, Jane.
Are you familiar
Police
with that,
officers
Paul?
standing there,
Near
openly
Dothan.
standing there,
Right.
talking apparently to
I
the
was
man
in
who is sort of in the middle,
Okinawa,
literally,
June 1994.
between
Well,
O.J.
there you go.
Simpson and the officers.
Military.
Officers at the top of your screen, O.J.
Why else would
Simpson
you be
in that
Okinawa?
vehicle at the bottom of your screen, and the man we believe to be Al Cowlings.
It's like a party.
Talking to both sides.
It's interesting to note the way the two officers were standing there. We can assume that they're wearing any kind of bulletproof vest that they can, but they were not in a way protecting themselves. They were basically just standing there almost casually talking to the driver of that vehicle.
Where do you live now, Jeremy?
Looks like he is still attempting to talk to them and relaying perhaps some
Yeah, I have
information
a
to
21,
Simpson, believed to be
24,
also
and
in that vehicle there.
Going back to what Dr. Linden was saying is that it might be a very natural human reaction to want to stop and wave to a man who is in
near
deep,
Dothan,
serious trouble,
place
not
called
only
Ozark.
legally, but obviously psychologically as
Utah.
well.
I'll be in
But
Utah
Dr. Linden pointing out that that was probably the worst possible thing that any one of us
September.
could have done, because
I'm gonna
while
be
we meant
near
it as a
Salt Lake,
show of
actually about a half
support
hour out
and
of Salt
sympathy,
Lake.
it might well be the agitation factor. Yes, go ahead, Jane.
It appears from what we're hearing on the scanners, they are trying to put a phone call perhaps from O.J. through to his mother. They're trying to arrange that right now.
Jane, is there an indication that his mother is in the house?
You're 25,
or
huh?
is door of
Hey guys,
O.J.
keep
Simpson's
smashing that like
home?
button. I appreciate it.
Is there an indication that his mother is in the house?
As Jane
Exactly
Wells was
where
telling
Ozark
us,
is.
the
Yeah,
police
I've
are
only
trying
been
to
there
work out
once.
a
It is
phone
like a
contact
small
between
town in
O.J.
the middle of
Simpson and
nowhere.
his mother.
Utah,
Yes, go ahead.
It's I forget what the little town is. It's in the middle of town. My buddy is
They're
having a
trying to
party
get the
out
phone
there.
number so they can hook it through.
Okay.
Again, we have more people running down the street here.
Now, there are a number more police officers, Jane, and I'm not sure what you can see from your vantage point, but
Yeah, Dolphin.
Very difficult getting information from the scene because police have instituted a blackout.
Oh, yeah, there was a basketball game. I think there was a playoff game or something.
There now, isn't it? With
it was the
facing
playoffs.
to the left of our screen.
In the dark clothes,
We love the juice. Save the juice. A lot of these people came by on motorcycles. They followed the police motorcade that followed Simpson to this residence, and they parked their motorcycles, some cars, and they're gathering here, trying to show their support for Simpson as a standoff is taking place just about 500 yards in front of them right now.
Yeah, my mom's town is very, very small. I remember they took us to what was supposed to be the best steakhouse in town, and it was the single worst steakhouse
It's
I'd ever been to
reminiscent
in my
of a
entire
movie I
life.
saw years
seriously,
ago. I
single
think it was
worst
called Dog
I've ever
Day
seen.
Afternoon. with, if I remember correctly, Al Pacino, and a crowd gathered outside somewhere, and they were outside a bank, and they were chanting. I don't know if they were chanting Attica or whatever they were chanting, but this is reminiscent of that. Sometimes,
it's strange you say that. Art. It's strange you say that, Harold, because right now this crowd is chanting juice, juice.
Man, I should have ran over there. How crazy would that have been if I was in this video?
Here. Our television camera undoubtedly is
I was like 23 at the time.
We're concerned. There's too much problems in Los Angeles. We want to see O.J. free. Laura, I see people actually climbing up the hillside. It looks like into people's yards to try to circumvent the police line, to circumvent the roadblock, and try to get a better look at this. Fathers bringing their children, bringing their home video cameras.
Yeah, I'm originally from Illinois. Yeah, I grew up in a town northwest suburb called Long Grove, Illinois.
According to your information earlier, are waiting for a crisis negotiating team to come online.
We're like the same age,
Keep in mind, as we watch this now, darkness is beginning to set in on the west side at almost 8:25 on this Friday night, and it is going to be interesting to see if the law enforcement people there bring in lights and illuminate the vehicle, the Bronco that O.J. Simpson is in right now. But for our standpoint, we ask you to stay with us. Nightfall causes us problems.
67.
Our cameras are as high-tech as they can be, and they can operate at a very low light level, but as you can see, the light is dropping rapidly. But the situation is that they are waiting for crisis negotiators. There are a minimum of 4 people in the entryway to O.J. Simpson's home. About halfway up your screen right now.
69,
they have been talking back 94. And forth
everybody tell me what your birthdays
Callings,
are.
who was the driver of this car up from Orange County, the man who fled the home today,
where O.J. Simpson
was
with
28
his
attorney. And
we haven't seen Mr. Callings here in a little while.
No, we haven't.
Walking back and forth.
The last time I saw him, he got back into the vehicle. I raised the possibility that he could be a hostage, but I think above and beyond.
Making so much noise, police cannot hear their conversation with O.J. Simpson. He's using a cellular telephone, apparently from inside that white Bronco that you can barely see in the lower portion of the right-hand side of your screen. There's an unconfirmed report that O.J. Simpson is asking to speak to his mother. There is a hostage negotiator at work at the scene, and we're monitoring the situation. We'll have a live special report for you just moments from now.
For the first time tonight.
Family members, some Simpson family members, obviously distraught, pushing and shoving with members of the media who were trying to cover the story. They were not allowed past the crime tape initially, but they got in a few minutes later. There's another distraught neighbor.
You guys don't remember, like the younger people, like O.J. Simpson was like a friggin' hero.
And the driver
O.J. Simpson at the time, he was like LeBron James, like that level of people loved him.
And to bring you up to date on new information that we have just received, O.J. Simpson's attorney, Robert Shapiro, has arrived at the
O.J.
scene.
Simpson.
When we last heard from Mr. Shapiro, it was at a news conference during the 5 o'clock Eyewitness News here on Channel 7, and his opening comment was, "O.J., please surrender." During the course of his recount...
What about a three-pointer? Then dunked in. Hesitated on the shot. Put it up there. And then a hole.
City kids. They keep bouncing back up.
Here a few moments ago from Bob Turk, a fine reporter for KCBS Television. He said that the Los Angeles Police Department does have a number of its top-notch people, SWAT
Everywhere I look and everywhere I go.
It's amazing. Whoever cut this together, this was like the best version I could find on the internet. But they keep bouncing around. And that's it.